Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Seahawks Sessions post-game show presented by our friends over at Belly Up Sports, Belly Up Media, and wherever you get your podcast. My name is Dan Cruz. I'm coming to you from the Department of BS from the beaches of Long Island, New York. This is Seahawks Sessions, and this is the post-game show. Joining me, also, for the first time on the Seahawks Sessions post-game show, is from the department, from No Credentials Required, and the capital region of Albany, New York, Dustin. Dude, what a game.
Oh, man. It was great to watch. You know, I had a great day. I smoked some meat. It didn't come out as good as I wanted, but I'll use it for tacos. I'll use it for fajitas, all that kind of stuff. It'll be fine. But, man, what a game to watch. It was a day on Red Zone. Some surprising scores, which Ryan and I will get into. But now, we get to talk all about Seahawk football. Man, I thought this was going to be a trap game. It was not a trap game. The boys were ready to play.
We'll get to that in a second. But in case you haven't, if you are joining us, well, this isn't even live. I'm too used to the live stream.
Yeah.
Like, follow, share, and subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcasts, however you may be watching, however you may be listening. Also, engage in the comments, and you know the drill. Be nice. Jeez. I don't know how many times I have to tell you guys.
Yeah.
Just be nice. This isn't hard. We will get to the actual brunt of the whole event, but we do need to get a quick mandatory advertising break as we usually do, because we know for a fact, Dustin, this show is not free. So we will be right back after a word from our friends over at SeatGeek. This show ain't free, so time for some ads.
Hey everyone, it's Ryan from No Credentials Required to talk to you about one of our newest partners at Belly Up Sports, SeatGeek. Yeah, live sports is great on television, but the feeling of being at the arena is a priceless experience. That's why our friends at SeatGeek are there to help you find the best tickets at the best prices. Not only can you get tickets to sporting events, but you can also get tickets to concerts, comedy shows, musicals, and more. Search for your desired event now at SeatGeek.com, enter promo code BellyUpSports at checkout, and you save $20 off your first purchase. SeatGeek. Life's an event. We have the tickets.
All right, and we're back. Dustin, we need to get to the brunt of the whole thing. So, the Seahawks played dang near flawless at home against the New Orleans Saints. I think we talked about this on the Friday show. We all thought this was a trap game.
Yeah.
Because the Saints, despite leading the league in penalties, they were playing tough football. I don't think any of us saw this coming.
No.
Especially at halftime. What was the halftime score? It was like 35-3.
Yeah, 38-6, I think, something like that. 38-6.
Some ridiculous score. But I was stunned when they didn't just beat the Saints, they beat them down.
No, they did. And, you know, if you go back and you watch this game, I haven't been able to watch the whole thing. I have Red Zone, so I had to watch what they were showing me. But you could tell the special teams was the problem for the Saints today. And it really caused them to get in a hole early. And with Spencer Rattler at quarterback, they just don't have the horses to get out of a hole like that. So that's really, and I mean, the Seahawks, they never look back. The first touchdown pass was to Jackson Smith-Njigba. We didn't know if he was going to play because he was experiencing flu-like symptoms, but he was in there and he looked absolutely fine. Sam Darnold
looked fine.
Yeah. Sam Darnold seems to be getting his groove on a little bit. I liked some of the passes that I saw, but we got to talk about, I got to take my hat off to you because you were banging the Torrey Horton drum in the preseason. You were talking about what a camp he was having. He's starting to show it out in this game, in the season and in this game. And he's kind of, I thought there would be a little bit more from Cooper Kupp this game. I think Torrey Horton, dare I say, I think he's starting to take a little bit of a grab on the number 2 wideout role. He's consistently getting open, and to say nothing of his special teams exploits in this game. He returned. He had a 95-yard punt return. That's the first time that's happened for the Seahawks in 10 years.
Since Tyler Lockett, by the way.
Yes.
So I got the stats right here. Sam Darnold, 14 of 18 for 218, 218 yards, 2 touchdowns, no sacks, no picks.
It's a clean game.
Clean game for him.
And people are going to, critics of the Seahawks are going to look back at this game and they're going to go, oh, it's against the Saints. It's you do what you're supposed to do.
That's a half-decent defense in New Orleans, by the way.
Yeah.
People forget, New Orleans has solid players. Justin Reed. They got, Demario Davis, who's still there. Cameron Jordan, who's still there. Yeah. Carl Granderson, who's had a good start to the year. Chase Young is still there. Devon Gottschall, who's a good nose tackle, who they got in a trade from the Patriots. They have talent on this team. Yes. Obviously, we're not talking about the teams that had Tyrann Mathieu, Marshawn Lattimore. Those teams are long gone.
Yeah,
they don't have that type of talent on defense, which is fine. But they still played really well. This was a beatdown from the first 10 minutes of it. It was a beatdown. And when Torrey Horton returned that punt 95 yards, I thought, oh, this is going to be a beatdown.
Yeah.
I knew it because Spencer Rattler didn't look sharp, but he obviously he was getting rattled. Really, puns intended. He was getting rattled.
Yeah.
Which the defense did their job. Which you prevented them. The defense gave up 13 points.
Mm-hmm.
Third week in a row, they have given up 17 or fewer points, which is awesome. That's awesome to see. Spencer Rattler, 28 of 39, 218 yards, 1 touchdown and an interception. He did have a touchdown in this game. He had one to Jack Stoll.
Yep.
But let's look at the Saints receivers. Chris Olave, 10 catches, 57 yards. Jawan Johnson, 6 catches, 51. Rashid Shaheed, 4 for 42. Brandon Cooks, 3 for 24. And then who was the Swiss Army knife we were talking about for the whole show on Friday?
Oh, for the Saints?
You stopped this player, you stopped their entire offense.
Yeah, Alvin Kamara.
Alvin Kamara had 18 carries for 42 yards and 1 catch for 14 yards. Shut down.
Yeah. Well, and you look at the stat sheet, you listed the totals for the receivers. Chris Olave had a lot of receptions, but it was for 57 yards. What does that indicate? That indicates that they were pressuring Spencer Rattler, so he had to do dump offs. Yep. He didn't have time to throw the ball down the field. He didn't, and it could be a case. I got to go back and watch the highlights so I can get more of the game, because sometimes with red zone, especially when the game goes one-sided, you don't always see the whole thing. So I got to do some fill-ins. But it could be a case of Spencer Rattler just not seeing open receivers. But what those stats indicate to me is that he was completing passes, but they were all short. Because he didn't have time. They didn't have time to set anything up. The defense is doing its job so far, and I was pleased by this game, and I like this. It was a low stress game for me. I didn't have to worry.
That's a first.
Yeah. Sometimes I get a little stressed out watching the Seahawks, but to me, and I know we're going to get into it, but the player that's really standing out on defense is Josh Jobe.
He's been unfreaking believable.
He's playing out of his mind so far this year, and he had a couple penalties in this game, but I saw them. I'm like, those are come on, those are ticky-tack penalties.
Yeah, I was going to say, those are ticky-tack calls.
And the thing is, the thing that I have in my notes here is he had the Saints were in the red zone. It was a 3rd down. Josh Jobe, he broke up a pass beautifully that could have led to a Saints touchdown or at least a first down, and it was
beautiful coverage.
Yeah, it held them to a field goal. So it
was awesome.
Yep. It did what the defense needed to do.
Yep. I also, we have been we've been getting, like, here in the Seahawk fandom, we've been getting made fun of by a lot of fan base. Like, oh, you signed Sam Darnold, blah blah blah. It's like Sam Darnold threw 18 passes and completed 14 of them.
Mm-hmm.
He obviously didn't destroy.
No.
He didn't. You didn't win the game because of Sam Darnold. You won the game because the defense shut down the Saints.
Yeah.
I've been coming up with this little tidbit here and there, and it goes, you win with players, not because of players.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it applies to mostly because of the defense. You won with the defense and with the players that you have on offense. Kenneth Walker obviously didn't break out for 200 yards, which is like, okay, it's fine. He had 16 carries for 38 yards. Big freaking deal. He had 2 touchdowns. Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
I understand that Kevin's been beating the drum about buy on Kenneth Walker's fantasy stock because he's going to get a ton of yards behind this offense. I don't know. And that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. I mean, I know I'm beating a dead horse with the Sam Darnold train because you don't need to win because of Sam Darnold. It's nice.
No. Yeah.
But he's doing what you paid him to do, which is, okay, be efficient.
Yes. Just
be efficient.
Yeah.
That's all you need. And let the defense handle the rest.
Yeah. Don't turn the ball over, which he hasn't, which, it's been a lot of years. But, okay, the Baltimore Ravens won the Super Bowl in 2000 with this same blueprint. They had Trent Dilfer at quarterback. Did he light up the stat sheet? No, but he didn't have to because that defense was full of Hall of Famers. Okay, so that was the thing. As long as Trent didn't turn the ball over, they were going to win the game. And I think that you can see Coach McDonald and the Seahawks, that's the blueprint they want. And and the thing is, they did, and it frustrates me. It frustrates me a little bit because you have to wonder if they had invested in the offensive line the way they have for Sam Darnold and to protect Sam Darnold, what it could have been for Russ or even Geno, who had some mobility back there. But the key thing that Sam Darnold has done is he has not turned the ball over, with the exception of that one bad interception in Pittsburgh. So far, he's been clean to start the season, and you are really clean. Yeah, you are looking at one of the biggest Sam Darnold skeptics. I would say I was the biggest skeptic on the show for certain. Oh my God!
In the history of the show, probably Jackson Bevins out of all of us here. Jesus,
well, yes.
Jesus, you could go back to that episode. Jackson tore apart this free agency period.
Yes,
tore apart the whole thing. I'm pretty sure if we were to get Jackson on the phone right now and ask you, "Hey, buddy, how you feeling this so far this season?" I can guarantee you, this man's probably going, "Okay, I'm wrong." You know what? Let's check his Twitter right now. Let me go check his Twitter. Keep talking, because I know you have a lot more to say, and I don't want this to be just a me thing.
Oh no, but you're the captain of the ship, man. You're the captain of the ship. I struggle because I know we're going to want to talk about this a little bit on Friday, but it'll probably be mostly Kevin's thoughts because you and I are doing this right now. But this was one of the most complete games that the Seahawks played, to my memory, in a while. This one had a different feel to it, and I'm going to do it. Byron Murphy, I think he's starting to figure it out, folks. I think he's starting to figure it out. He got a sack today. Now they didn't quite get home to Spencer Rattler as much as I thought they would, but I think part of it had to do with the tone of this game. The Seahawks got out to such an early lead that you could tell it obviously changed what the Saints wanted to do, because Kamara is their best player. We can talk about Olave all we want to. He's a great player. We could talk about Brandon Cooks, but offensively, Kamara is their best player. The Saints would have loved to run the ball and try to control the clocks. The problem is the Seahawks jumped out to such an early lead with some quick touchdowns, and then the special teams gaff by the Saints. Their special teams was a weak point today, and the Seahawks special teams was able to capitalize on it. So it completely changed what the Saints wanted to do offensively, I am sure. And the bottom line is Spencer Rattler He's not there. He's not able to pick apart a defense yet and get the ball down the field. Maybe it comes for him, but right now the Seahawks did what they were supposed to do, and they kind of, I'm not going to say they took their foot off the gas, but I think it's just McDonald, I saw some of his post-game comments in the locker room. He said they started fast, but they finished it. And he said, we got some things to clean up, but they finished this game. But I felt like, they took their foot off the gas a little bit.
Yeah, they could have scored 80.
Yeah. When you jump out to a lead like this, the game is going your way. The game is going your way. So I think partially they didn't rush. They didn't rush as much as I thought they would because they didn't have to. They were getting stops, and they could sit back and zone a little bit and just make sure that the Saints didn't get anything deep on them and hold this lead out and control the clock. So I was very, very encouraged by what I saw today. They blocked a punt. They blocked a punt for the Saints.
Yeah.
Special teams. I can't remember since the Legion of Boom days. I don't remember special teams being a strength for the Seahawks. So you could see they're starting to find their footing a little bit. And I don't want to put the cart before the horse. I'm usually more of a pessimist, but with the way that the Seahawks have played in Pittsburgh and in New Orleans, I'm happy. I'm just a little miffed that they dropped that Niners game in week 1, because I thought it was a winnable game. And man, that Niners Cardinals game today, neither of them scared me the way that they were looking. But that was tough to watch. But man, I'm just so happy. And do I want to see Kenneth Walker light it up? And do I want to see this running game really take off under Kubiak? Yes. But if they can continue to find ways to win games like this, they don't have to do it that way.
No, they don't. And that's fine. Which brings up to the point of, like, you don't need to win because of these players. You win with them. It'd be nice if Kenneth Walker can rush for 2,000 yards and 23 touchdowns. Like, that's reasonable. That's even realistic. But even then, it's like, okay, you're winning with these guys, and that's a team effort. This was an all-around team effort of a great freaking game.
Yep.
And we'll get to some game notes here. We've talked all around about the defense and the offense and stuff like that. This was an all-around just team effort, top notch. Love to see it. I can't wait to see what they do in a short week in Arizona against Kyler Murray and those Cardinals, because, the Cardinals did lose in San Francisco today, 16-15. So San Francisco still, as of this moment, holds first place in the NFC West. But hold a 3-way tie for second because the Rams lost today.
Yes, the Rams.
Oh, my God. Jack was pissed. He was. Unless I don't blame him because we'll beat this down on the Wednesday show.
Yeah.
Which we'll set a time for that because, therapy and on my end and stuff like that. But we'll figure this out. But
yeah. At
the same point, it comes down to the Rams should have won that game. But anyway, I digress. Offensive player of the game, Sam freaking Darnold, man. What a game! Like he played dang near flawless.
He did, and he didn't have to light up the stat sheet. As a matter of fact, it just goes to show, though, what a difference the perception is. Because, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe from your game notes, he and Spencer Rattler both threw for 218 yards.
They both did.
But it was a much different looking 218 yards for Sam Darnold. You looked at
Spencer Rattler, and that guy was scared. He was like, I don't know what the heck. There's 4 guys coming anywhere, and there's the defensive player of the game. We could talk about Josh Jobe until the wheels fall off. Byron Murphy, holy crap.
He's figuring it out.
He has arrived, and if he's only in his second year,
Yeah.
so that's scary to think about. Like and he's playing out of position.
Mm-hmm.
Technically, he is. He's playing nose tackle. Holy cow! So I mean, it scares me that he looks menacing. But then the other thing is, they're doing this without. They did this without Julian Love.
Yep.
Devin Witherspoon, Nick Evenmori.
Yep.
Three game changers technically on defense on their side of the ball.
And I mean, let's give a shout out to
Wow.
Kendrick.
Yeah.
Taking over for the aforementioned Spoon while he's out. And he
had an interception. Yeah.
Yeah. They were saying that his confidence grows with each game on the broadcast. And I mean, you could see it. But the Seahawks defense, what gets me excited is the Seahawks defense is doing this without arguably their best defensive player.
Yep.
So what's Spoon gonna do when he comes back in? I sounded like the Hulkster there, I guess. But
what you gonna do?
But yeah, I'm excited about the way this has gone so far. And shout out to the offensive line. If they can keep Sam Darnold this clean, there's gonna come a time where he picks you apart.
Yep. It's beautiful to see.
Yeah.
It is beautiful to see because wow. I mean, play of the game is easy. Torrey Horton.
Yeah.
95-yard punt return. Woof.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with you. And like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if he's starting to take hold of the number 2 receiver role a little bit. It seems like Sam Darnold's starting to look for him. But when you're that fast, why not? And I mean, Jackson Smith-Njigba, he's going to be a problem every single week for opposing defenses. So, I so far am very excited because even in their quote unquote bad game, the loss against San Francisco, JSN still feasted. So I was very vocal about, I think, JSN, he gets open because DK was creating double teams and stuff. JSN is proving that he can handle the number 1 wideout role, no problem.
Yep, no freaking problem.
And man, I am hoping that Cooper Kupp gets it going a little bit from in the slot because that would be fun to see.
I'm willing to obviously let it slide because as we've talked about, it's week 3.
Yep.
Okay, so there's still time. I'm not gonna panic.
No.
If he doesn't oh my God, he only got 600 yards receiving. What? And we're only paying him $15 million a year. So what?
Mm-hmm.
What's the record?
Yeah.
What's the freaking record? That's the thing, which is who cares? They're winning games. It's different if if the score was flipped.
Yeah.
And the Saints blew out the Seahawks. Different story. You and I are having completely different discussion on this matter.
Yeah,
completely different. And we'd be tearing apart Mike McDonald, be tearing apart John Schneider. But the fact that they're winning the way that they won the last 2 games is okay. You see what they're trying to do.
Yeah. You're starting to see the blueprint and the construction behind this roster and maybe the vision. And look, we're going to have weeks. That's the nature of the season. The Seahawks are going to have weeks where it doesn't come together like it did today. Today is a rare game because today I would say all cylinders, all 3 phases of the game were going.
Yep.
Special teams, offense, defense. It was all gravy for the Seahawks today.
All gravy. You love to see it.
Yeah.
So obviously we'll talk about week 3 in Arizona on the Wednesday show. I don't know if Kevin's going to, because 8 o'clock will be a little tricky for me because I got therapy. So I mean, I could do 6 o'clock. I could do 6:30, 7.
Okay,
whatever works. I mean, I'll talk with you guys, in the group chat and stuff like that. No big deal, no big problem.
Yeah.
But I do want to talk real quick about the Cardinals because uh,
I don't
I'm
know.
not scared. I'm not scared of them.
I'm not either, but the thing is, like, I've continued to bang this drum, and maybe it's the pessimist in me, but I like Jonathan Gannon as a head coach. Now, Arizona did lose James Conner today.
Oh, really?
I did not see the injury, and they elected not to show the replay, so it must have been pretty gruesome.
Yeah,
But
probably.
he did get carted off, and from the looks
Ooh.
of it, Trey Benson is going to be in at running back, and Trey Benson, from the little bit of Cardinals games that I've seen, Trey Benson, no disrespect to James Conner, he's been a workhorse. He runs hard. The things he overcame, especially when he's in Pittsburgh, hats off to him. He's a great player. Football's better when he's on the field, but Trey Benson has looked a little bit more dynamic at running back, and I just hope that the Cardinals forget to use Marvin Harrison for one more game. I don't know
Yeah.
what's going on with that.
Kyler Murray against the 49ers, 23 of 35 for 159 and a touchdown. He was sacked once. Marvin Harrison, 3 catches for 44.
Yeah,
Trey McBride, who's one of the better tight ends in football, had a touchdown, 5 catches, 43 yards. But I don't know. I don't know what to make of the Cardinals. Obviously, we'll beat to death on this team on the next episode of Seahawks Sessions. But I'm looking forward to it because you're supposed to be getting Devin Witherspoon back.
Yeah.
And I think it might be another week or two before we see him and Worry come back, which is fine. Which is completely fine because they're playing great without him.
Yep.
They're playing great. And like we'll finish up this program by saying this. It feels so refreshing.
It does.
I feel refreshed as a Seahawk fan for the first time in a long time.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I have to admit it, even as one of the biggest Pete Carroll supporters out there, because he was really Mike Holmgren before him. And I wasn't around for their first run when they had Largent going and stuff, and they went to the AFC championship games and stuff like that. But this is the first time in a while that, like I said, this was the most relaxing game I've had as a Seahawk fan, excluding Super Bowl, obviously when they beat the brakes off the Broncos. That was the most relaxing Seahawk game I had in history. I was hosting the Super Bowl party. I had people over. I was just in my glory. Everybody else was saying this is a boring game. I'm like, this is the greatest game I've ever seen. But it's been a long time since we felt like that as Seahawk fans. It's been very stressful. Even last year.
Yeah.
There's things with the Geno Smith-led offense, and now you're seeing it in Vegas. He has not had a good start there. The red zone interceptions, and as long as Sam Darnold can keep those down, it's going to be
Bill John Schneider, a freaking statue outside Lumen Field at this point.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, it's
seriously,
early.
it's been because with Pete Carroll, I mean, I've beaten the brakes off of this topic for years on how much I did not think Pete Carroll was going to last much longer. And he lasted for he lasted until 2023, which is like, okay, big freaking deal. No big deal. 4 or 5 years too late. But now it seems like, okay. Well, going back to Pete, it felt like with Pete, you had no idea what they were doing.
Yeah. Some of you look back, especially he would never deviate, which we've always talked about, which when you're winning, it makes you look like a genius because you're like, well, my system is working and we're crushing people. And that worked for a while. But then when you started to lose, when the team started to lose what made them great, you lost that run game after Chris Carson had to retire. You lost some of the key cogs on defense, either through age or injury or trades.
Yeah.
And you just saw how it seems, and you have been very vocal about this, but it seems that Mike Macdonald and John Schneider as a duo are more than willing to adjust, and they are trying, and Macdonald he's not so married, seemingly, he's not so married to his system as much as building his defense after the players that he has. That's what it seems like to
You
me.
love to see that. And the other thing is next man up.
Mhm.
The next man up mentality is like, okay, when Earl Thomas broke his leg the first time
Yeah.
and Steven Terrell had to go in and play free safety, you saw the talent drop off just
Oh, yeah.
right there. I remember clear as freaking day when Earl broke his leg the first time against the Panthers in 2016. I was like, well, there goes our defense. Because you saw, and it was like, it felt like when Pete Carroll was there, the team was so top heavy. And they could get away with it because they were winning.
Yeah.
Now it seems like they're not top heavy. They're perfectly balanced, which you love to see.
Mm-hmm.
And they're winning with that.
Yeah.
And that is awesome. You love to see that.
Yeah, it really is. And you know what? I'll give Pete a little bit of credit because some of those draft picks were on his watch. Spoon was on his watch, Cross and Lucas on his watch. But
yeah,
you have to wonder how much because the two drafts with Mike McDonald and John Schneider making the personnel decisions so far, I've been very happy with it. And like you said, we're starting to see what they're building. And hopefully we have more games like this Saints game. Now, I don't think so because this was as dominant. It will not be like this every week. And the NFL is the NFL. You never know who's going to – the Browns beat the Packers today. Okay.
Yeah,
so,
that's shocking.
So
that shocked me.
Things are going to happen, but I am as excited about a Seahawk team as I've been in a long time.
I have a question for you before we close up shop.
Sure.
Because I know we've beaten this topic to death on Tariq Woolen.
Oh man,
I've seen enough. Josh Jobe and Devin Witherspoon are the top two. Corner one and corner two.
I agree with you.
And Darian Kendrick has played well enough in the nickel slot where you're like, okay, you can slot him outside too if need be.
Yeah,
because Josh Jobe has played well enough to where Tariq Woolen's looking at him like, you know that stupid meme of the taxidermy cat that just goes like,
yeah,
with his arms out and everything. It's just like, what happened? That's Tariq Woolen right now. He's like, what happened? You know what happened, Tariq? You gave up stupid plays. You had stupid penalties. You softened tackling, and you just got flat outplayed by an undrafted free agent.
Yeah,
that is freaking insane to think about. And the question leads into this: do we see the trade rumors heat up with Tariq Woolen?
I think we do. I think we do, and
you have no choice.
Yeah, and it's if teams are interested, you have to listen now because you cannot take Josh Jobe off the field the way he is playing.
Absolutely not.
And barring something happen, Kendrick has proven he can step in just fine so far.
And if Kendrick goes down, Kobe slides down from safety to nickel, and he's fitting great.
Yep.
And the other thing is, and if Kobe goes down as strong safety, Nick Ebenwari, there's your Swiss Army knife right there.
Yep.
Right there. There's your Kyle Hamilton. Right there. So I think the trade rumors of Reek are really going to heat up.
Yeah.
In the next, not even a few weeks, but like several days. Like people are going to start to call me like, hey, how much do you want from? And you see that, and the last few games have kind of proved it, but then again, I could be hardly wrong. And they might still be confident in Reek's, playmaking ability, which he has that.
He does have it, yeah. Yeah.
But Josh Jobe has been outplaying the crap out of him.
He has, and it's noticeable, even to me. And I'm not, I'm not like some guy that sits and breaks down a ton of film, but you cannot.
It's too obvious, though.
You cannot argue with the way that Josh Jobe has been playing, and it makes the Reek going for the ball too early in that week 1 loss. That's a type of stuff that you can't. It puts it under the microscope, and it makes it more glaring because if Jobe wasn't playing so well, you'd say, oh well, you got to live with it because Reek's talented, but they're doing fine without him.
They would be 3-0 if not for that Reek Woolen game.
Yeah,
which makes the Niners loss sting a little bit after this game.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It makes it. At first, I was like, no big deal. But now I'm just like, really? We could be 3-0.
Yeah.
We could be undefeated, and that sucks a little bit. But at the same point, listen, move on to week 4.
Mm-hmm.
Go to Arizona, go to the desert to play the Cardinals and beat the brakes off of them, and now you're 3-1.
Yeah.
And then you go from there.
You cannot sleep on the Cardinals, though. You cannot sleep on them. They have enough talent. They have enough talent to bite you sometimes. And,
they do.
And at some point, mark my words, they're going to figure it out with Marvin Harrison Jr. They have to. But this is all right. I know we've gone a little long here.
It's fine. It's perfectly fine. But by the way, James Conner is out for the year with a leg injury.
Yeah, it
was expected.
I didn't see it. But the way he was getting carted off, and it was one of the things where all the players were around him.
It's brutal.
Yeah, they elected not to show the replay. I don't know what it was, but it was bad.
Probably broke his leg, but which sucks. But anyway, we got to close up shop as per usual. So final thoughts, Dustin?
I don't have any. I guess I'll just say, man.
What a game.
Yeah. Keep it going like this. Go Hawks.
What a game. So with that being said, Dustin's coming to you from the capital region of Albany, New York. I'm coming to you from the beaches of lovely Long Island, New York. This has been the Seahawks Sessions post-game show, week 3 signing off. And we'll see you all in this life and most certainly the next one. Cheers, everyone. Have a good night.